Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna start a series where I'm gonna rank the every NFL team by their division every month during the off season until week 1 of the preseason. Then I'll do weekly power rankings and predictions. And I'll probably go up until we'll go with conference championships. That's when I'll just do predictions at that point. So this is my very, very unbiased predictions because I'm not biased. So let's get rocking and rolling into these power rankings. Of all things, why did I say that? So, let's start off with the AFC East. So, personally, we're gonna go from 4 to 1 here. I think Eagles are gonna take 4th in division. They were a very, very dominant team this year. They lost 3 times. One time was a very bad choke job. Absolutely insane choking on the Eagles' part. But the other 2 parts were when Jalen Hurts was injured. Which means this team was a very fraud-proof team. They were not fraudulent at all. Maybe once. Without their offensive and defensive coordinator, they are just not going to go too far this year. At third, I've got the Commanders. Now, the Commanders were a pretty good team this year. They would have, all of the NFC East would have made the playoffs if it weren't for a really bad call by the refs in the Giants' favor, which allowed them to get into the playoffs, and they started Carson Wentz. So I don't know why you start Carson Wentz over Taylor Heineke. Both of them suck, but Carson Wentz is worse. Way, way worse. Second, I got the Giants. This team is very up and coming. Both New York teams are very up and coming with a lot of young, very good talent. And at first, I got the Cowboys. I don't mean to be a bandwagon. I'm not biased. As I said before, I just think the Cowboys are just superior to how I think the other 3 teams will be this year, as much as I hate them. Now let's move to the NFC South. And then 4th, I've got the Buccaneers. All right, they're just going to absolutely crumble this year. Who do they have? Mike Evans. That's it. They only have Mike Evans. Who else do they have? They've got an aging Julio Jones. They don't have a quarterback. They're going to fail miserably this year. They're beyond the point of fixing. I mean, the most the Buccaneers could do, really, is just trade Mike Evans for something, but I don't even think they'd do that. So, they just have to wait it out and start rebuilding ASAP. And third, I got the Saints. This is also a very old team. A little younger, but very old. And without their head coach, I just don't think they're going to go too far. And then third, second. In second, I've got the Falcons. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the Falcons are good, but I think they're going to be better than the Saints. I don't have anything else to say about them. And first, I got the Panthers. I think they're going to sweep the division this year. One main piece of evidence I have is when they beat the Lions. In the first half. Holy smokes. What was in it? 34-7, I believe. I don't know. I'm just going off the top of my head. Put the score right there. Okay, maybe I wasn't too far off. I don't know. Either way, I think the Panthers are definitely going to take the division after Tom Brady is now gone. Now let's move on to my personal favorite division, the NFC North. I think the Bears are going to be 4th again. Mainly because I don't think they really have to turn it around with the draft in order to be good this year. They were the worst team in the NFL, all right? And the only thing that was maybe working for their team was Justin Fields. He's an amazing quarterback. He'd be great on pretty much any team. Pretty much any team. If you put him on Bills or the Chiefs, it would not work well because they have superior quarterbacks. And I think the Packers are also going to be third again. I think this is just the same as what it was last year, but the third goes to the Packers. They're probably going to lose Rodgers. Rodgers is just probably going to go to the Jets, in my opinion. And second, I've got the Lions. They turned it way around this year. They went from 1-6 to 9-8. They were a very explosive team this year. Now, my very unbiased opinion, I think the Vikings are going to be first. Not only do we have an insanely offensive minded head coach, we now have a new defensive coordinator. So now we can accomplish a blowout without having our defense choke the whole game. Now let's move on to the NFC West. It's really a battle between the Cardinals and the Rams for last, but I'm going to switch it up from this year. I think the Rams are going to be last. It's really tough to decide because Baker Mayfield really showed that he has some talent left in him when he beat the Raiders when he'd been on the team for 2 days. Like, he barely knew the playbook. You lost to a guy who didn't even know most of the plays for the team, yet you lose by a point. Next, I've got the Cardinals. They've got a new head coach. I mean, Super Bowl losing defensive coordinator as your head coach. There's not a whole lot you can fix with your team. You got a quarterback who likes video games and tore ACL. Not even tore, blew up his ACL. Holy smokes, that was a hit. Next, I got the Seahawks. The Seahawks were really good this team. They showed that they don't need Russell to be good. DK was insanely good this year, and so was Geno. And then in first, I've got the 49ers. The 49ers are a very, very scary team. I would not want the Vikings to face them because they would lose. Next, I got the AFC East, and I'm going to put the Patriots in last. This year was just terrible for their offense. Their defense was pretty good, but their offense, I disapprove. We got the Dolphins in third. Me personally, I think Dolphins are an amazing team when healthy. The problem is you have great receivers, you have great running backs, and a great quarterback. But when they get injured, you got a problem. Now, I got in second, I have the Jets. The Jets are are a team full of young talent. Not only did they won offensive and defensive rookie of the year with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. I think if they land Rodgers, this team is a very good playoff team. And then first I got the Bills. The Bills are such a explosive team. They've got a solid defense, a solid offense. Only thing you really need is a running back. But you don't really need a running back when your quarterback can just jump over the defenders. Like, that's his whole thing. Next, got the AFC South. I think Colts are going to be last in the division. They just fell apart after firing Frank Reich. I mean, this whole season was terrible for them. Now they got the third-round pick. You got to capitalize on that. If anything, I'd trade the third for the first with the Bears and try and get a quarterback for the Texans too, just to make them mad. But I don't think the Bears would ever accept anything unless you throw in like Jonathan Taylor. Next, I got the Texans. They're definitely going to be better this year. They somewhat turned it around at the end of the season. They nearly beat the Cowboys. That is just mind-boggling to me. But the Cowboys are okay. Next, I got the Titans in second. The Titans, the only thing they really have is Derrick Henry. That's the only good thing they've got going for them. It's very tough to say this team will be good if they don't grab a quarterback or receivers in the draft. If not, they're screwed. Next, I got the Jaguars in first. This team is probably one of my favorites that I saw this year. They came back from a 27 point deficit. I mean, it's kind of like the Vikings with the 33-0. But let's be honest, the Colts weren't that good. I don't mean to say this, but it does sound like a Vikings hater. But the Colts aren't that good. I don't know how we went 33-0 to 36-39, but it works in my opinion. Next, we go to the AFC North. I think the Browns are going to be last in this division. What do they have for them? They got solid running backs, okay receivers, and a mediocre tight end. What else do they have? They got Deshaun Watson. That's it. Steelers, I think they're going to be better. I think they're going to be third in the division, but very close to the Ravens in second. We'll get back to the Ravens, but the Steelers are pretty good. They've got good receivers. They've got good running backs. They've got a good quarterback. They got a good defense. They've got all the spots in good. They're very average NFL team. I think they'd be like 10-7 next year. Maybe. Hypothetically. We're not on to the score. We're not on to that. That's coming later. Next, we got the Ravens in second for the division. I think this team, they gotta somehow keep Lamar. If they don't, they gotta snag somebody in the draft. That is their only option of succession. Who else do they have? They've got a good kicker, and they've got a good tight end in Justin Tucker and Mark Andrews. If they don't have a good quarterback, it's downhill for them. They could stick with Tyler Huntley and stick it to the man, kind of like how the Seahawks did with Russell Wilson, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. First in the division, I got the Bengals. The Bengals are unmatched, in my opinion. The Bengals are such a very good team. They've got great receivers. They've got great tight end. They've got great quarterback. I don't really know about running back. Joe Mixon he's okay, but now he's definitely going to prison. Yeah, they just gotta pick up somebody soon. Next, AFC West, the final division for this video. I got the Raiders in last. I think they're gonna fall apart like the Buccaneers, but a little better, or not as bad. Who do they really got? They don't have Josh Jacobs. They don't have Chandler Jones. They don't have Derek Carr. They've only got Devontae Adams. So this team doesn't do something quick, they're done for. Like, that is most of the teams that have gotten fourth or third, or because if they don't adjust quickly, they're gone. They're just going to be blown out every single game. Especially the Buccaneers. Third in the division, I've got the Broncos. The Broncos now have Sean Payton. Maybe it'll be better this year. I know Broncos fans have been saying that since last year. Like, oh yeah, this is the year. Which sounds like Cowboys fans, in my opinion, but a little more desperate. Next, we got the Chargers in second. I think the Chargers were a very good team until they choked, like always, in the wild card round against the Jaguars. And in first in the division, I've got the defending Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs. I don't think it'll be one of the last year scenarios of like the Chiefs were going to fall apart again. It's going to be the Broncos in first and all that. I highly disagree with that opinion. I think the Chiefs are going to make it back to the Super Bowl again. If not, it'll be the Bengals. It's between those two. The Bills, they just gotta get a running back. Yep, that's my way too early power rankings for this year, or for February of 2023. I'll see you sometime soon with a record prediction for each team. Let me know if you'd like that. I'll definitely make a video of that. For now, see you later.
On second and a long way to go. Mahomes, his throw incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. The crazy sequence here. Huge game that time, but it's certainly